Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
Welcome back to Outlaw Sports, everybody. Mike Lonsborough, Grant Pollock. Over the weekend, we saw some the wild card division games, and I am simply disgusted at the Washington Redskins. Watching RG3 limp out in that field and continue to play, and then I just know he damaged his knee. Mike Shanahan should be slapped. That was ridiculous.
Well, why didn't you say that before the game that he shouldn't be playing? I'm saying it's easy. I agree with you right now.
I don't think they should have been playing the guy. Because here...
Did you say that last week, though?
I wasn't here last week. I was on
holidays.
Well,
you got to pretend you were.
Okay, pretend. Yeah, I was. I phoned Mike and said,
no,
don't be an idiot.
I agree with you from what we saw on the field, seeing RG3 hurt and, destroy any chances the Redskins have of coming back to win that game. But why didn't we say before the game, he should not be playing, that knee's not right?
Well, Dr. Andrews did say that. And Dr. Andrews is the renowned surgeon, and every athlete worth his salt that has any injuries goes to Dr. Andrews. And he said, it was not sitting well with me. I never cleared him. And you saw him on the sideline. When there's 2 points in the game. That one where he went on the sideline, it kind of buckled on him, and then he walked off, and they did a little test and said nothing structurally was damaged. But when that loose snap came and he went to jump on it, and you saw his leg go the other way, this is his second. This would be his second surgery, Grant, because in college he had a surgery, and so this is your franchise. This is one of the most exciting guys.
Why weren't people saying? I didn't hear a whole lot of talk about that before, that he should not have been playing. To me, in hindsight, it's easy to say.
There was talk about that, though, Grant. I mean, Dr. Andrews went on.
I think everybody was so excited to see these two rookie quarterbacks.
Fair enough.
That transcended any kind of thought of his physical.
But you can't see the forest
health.
because of the trees here, because this is, I think, the most exciting guy in football right now. Now, he's got a chance to play, if he's healthy, but, a mobile quarterback, their careers they get slapped down. And this guy's got world-class speed. He may lose a step. He may never be the same kind of guy again, Grant. And
so
you risk it over
then?
a wild card game?
Mike Shanahan?
Absolutely. Or Snyder, the owner. They should have said no. Because this Cousins, the backup quarterback, did pretty well. He came in and...
Didn't he win both games?
He won both games he played in, right? So, I mean, and then you looked at the other end and you saw Wilson for Seattle. I mean, sure, I can see the hype, and that's why I wanted to watch the game,
that's why
these two guys play.
They probably gain millions more watching because of RG3.
They may have, but they may have lost millions, because if this guy's hurt, who do they have to blame but themselves?
I agree.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the playoffs quickly, because we now get into... Man, this is my favorite time of year when you get into the NFL playoffs. First of all, you have now Seattle going to take on Atlanta. Seattle is one of these teams, and Pete Carroll has done a marvelous job. This Wilson guy, he's just amazing to watch, and he's not your prototypical quarterback. He's only 5'11". He's 200 and some pounds. Yet he's smart. He walks in like RG3 did. They demand control of the room, respect. They go into training camp like they're seasoned vets, and it's really showing. This team is. I don't think anybody wants to play them because they're on a roll. They got a solid defense, big defensive line, the two best corners going, a former Stampeder as well, which is nice to see. Man, this team could go in there in Atlanta. Always the pressure this year of staying on top, being the #1 seed. But they've got some holes on defense. I think that could be an upset.
I do too. I think because of the defense too. I love watching when you see a quarterback blocking for the big running back like
Lynch,
we saw yesterday.
Absolutely.
I thought that just tells you that these guys care for each other, and they truly are a team. And Atlanta, you never kind of trust in the playoffs because of their track record. So I agree, Seattle could be the team coming out of there. Brandon Browner, first game back after you see him with Garcon, trying to jam him at the line. I thought that was a great battle. It's fun watching Brandon Browner, former Stampeder, don't you think? I got a
kick out of him here. I still remember being in the back of the locker room with Scott Cole one day, and Brendan Browner comes back and he goes, "Let's drink some beer." He brings, right after practice, and here we are having a few beer. And I thought, that's a pretty cool guy. He was a little bit of a mouthpiece, but he sure backs it up, and I'm a fan. Love to see it. The other game that we have to talk in the NFC, And Green Bay is getting healthy at the right time, and boy, they are dangerous on offense. And Aaron Rodgers is playing as good as any quarterback, and they're finally getting some of their weapons back. But they also got some hurt in this Minnesota game. But they're going up against the 49er team, who everyone liked at the start of the year. But injuries and some key injuries on defense, getting Justin Smith back will be huge, because this is one mean guy that they have to have there. That's a game. It's in San Fran. Kaepernick, the way he scrambles, might make it interesting. I don't know if anyone's going to beat Green Bay, though, even in the Super Bowl.
That's a team that I'm picking to win the NFC.
Yeah.
If I'm picking a Super Bowl, I'm picking NFC to Green Bay Packers. What I like about them more now, Mike, than before, besides having, I think, the best quarterback in the league, is a running game, which came up during halfway through the season, which balances out the offense more, a great passing offense. So I like the Packers. They don't overwhelm you. I mean, the Vikings, didn't put up much of an effort that game, but I think the Packers are the best.
Well, you look at them and they have offensive woes. I mean, Rodgers hardly throws any interceptions, but he gets sacked a ton. And yet they still find ways to win and getting healthy at the right time. Now, later in the week, folks, we'll take a look at the AFC matchup, and everyone wants eventually to see Peyton Manning going up against Tom Brady.